Hello Aquarius and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a full moon reading, the full moon in October. So it's also called the blood moon, the hunter's moon, the sanguine moon. It's got a lot of names. But what's important is we are in Libra season. We're coming to an end of Libra season. But the last reading I did for you was new moon in Libra. And now the moon, even though we're in Libra season, the moon is in Aries. So while we have been, like the new moon reading was about like cooperation, working with others, that kind of thing. Now that we've got the full moon in Aries, it kind of brings the focus back to you personally and what you're doing and your goals and thinking about you, Aquarius. So also full moons, they're the middle of the lunar cycle, a great time to think about things that we need to let go of. Why do we let go of things? Well, these are usually things that are holding us back. These are the things that come and make our barriers. They're the ones that manifest into obstacles. So we cannot bring in new stuff. I mean, you don't want to be a hoarder, do you? An emotional hoarder. That causes other problems. But you can't manifest new things without letting go of the old things. Okay, so I was going to ask, what emotional baggage is Aquarius holding on to too tightly? And we have the universe, infinite growth. This is a card that is specific to this deck. I left it in because I like it. I like the message of it. The universe talks about evolution and possibilities and infinite growth. And I feel like you are someone who has like this amazing potential. The shadow aspect of that is that when you're not moving somewhere, you feel like you're not growing, or you need to like see these steps happen. You want to start checking things off, and not all growth happens that way. I feel like, this is also a time of year based on, planets, but also just in October, that it's a time for us to like slow down a little bit. A lot of times people and our current society doesn't really respect that or doesn't really want that. And we always feel like we need to be busy because if we're not moving, we're not growing. If we're not growing, then we're dying. Those kinds of thoughts. But I feel like that's very limiting beliefs. I feel like stillness can be great growth. And I don't think that growth is like something that happens, like it goes from like a point over here and then it continues on at like this very nice line trajectory anyway. It's more like it's up and down and up and down and up and down, higher highs, lower lows kind of thing. So sometimes we're in a dip. And I think that when... 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Sometimes it's 2 steps backwards, 1 step forward. It doesn't mean that we're not dancing. We still are dancing, but it's just not the way that we think we should be. And I feel like there's a lot of like, yes, I want to be this infinite growth. Yes, I want these possibilities. Yes, I want this evolution. But you have to take the break when you are supposed to, Aquarius. And the thing is that things can change so quickly and so rapidly. And when you look forward and you see your dreams and you know how grand they are and you know how big they are, and you're like checking this off, like, I need to be 1,000 miles away from here by now. So I should be 10 miles at this time and 25 miles at this time and 50 miles at this time if I'm going to make it over here. But that's not really how life is. That's not how manifestations are. It would be lovely if our journey on Earth was exactly like a journey in a car. We set our GPS destination and bam, point to point, we're there. But we need to start looking at, you know, this ebb and flow, and the joy is in the journey. The joy is sometimes in stillness. The joy is sometimes in like those points where we aren't changing. And sometimes we need that rest because the universe knows what's coming up for us. The universe knows. Okay, what aspects of this can Aquarius let go of? And we have, ooh, the High Priestess. Very interesting. So the High Priestess is the quintessential intuition card. She is about subconscious, but she's also about perception. I love that this card has an owl on it for the High Priestess. You know what? And also off of what we were talking about, rest and things like that, like, you know, the owls come out at night, they're nocturnal, but they do, even though they seem to be moving when other people aren't, or other creatures aren't moving, they do take their time for rest as well. And also, I don't know if you've seen a lot of owls. I try to pay attention to owls. I used to have one. It was possibly two, because I could hear them hooting back and forth in my last house. And whenever I saw them, they weren't doing much. They were very much resting. The High Priestess card, I recently saw a video where another tarot reader like channeled the High Priestess. It was really super amazing because her mind is empty, is void. It doesn't have a lot of clutter in here. It doesn't have a lot of judgment. It doesn't have a lot of expectations. Not that, I mean, she's amazing. She accomplishes great things, but when a problem or an opportunity, problems are really opportunities, comes to her, she then is able to process it and make the most of it without having these extra strings attached. So I'm feeling like, Aquarius, that what aspects of your like growth do you need to let go of? And it's really kind of the perception of where you are versus where you want to be. And also like this extra, whatever this extra strings attached to it is. So I feel like it is something, something in your thought process. Like there's, you know, that you're there's a perception that needs to change, and intuition that needs to be followed. And then how do I let go of this baggage? Okay, how does Aquarius let go of this baggage? And we've got King of Matches reversed. Very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to read you what this card says, and then I'll tell you what it means to me. It says poor leader, unrealistic, and overbearance. I don't really feel like that is what it is for you, Aquarius. For me, kings are about control. They have gone through so many different things and they control whatever their suit is. For the King of Matches, he controls, well, I mean, he's leadership, right? So leadership does come into play here, but he controls passion. He controls, I mean, how do you control passion, right? And I suppose he knows what he's doing, but I think poor leader could be, although I wouldn't call you a poor leader. I just think that you have the right tools, just not working with them in the right way. Like the King of Matches would know when it's time to back off, when it's time to micromanage, when it's time to just let his team run with it. And I feel like it is, you're trying to manage something and it's super hard. because you have a lot of ambition here. But if, like, the King of Matches reversed, if you're not managing it in the right way, you get burned. I almost feel like you need to think about something else and then let this fill in. I know that's hard. All right, let's see what else comes out. I've got 2 more cards of advice. And remember, this is kind of just 2-week period. Oh, interesting. It's no, okay. I'm saying, oh, okay. Because I just talked about like letting go of control here, but then we get the masculine lunar god 42, who, you know, when we talk about masculinity, that's why I think of kings in respect of control. So it's kind of like a, I don't want to say like a mixed message here, but I think it's like controlling in the right way, like more guiding rather than control. Like the lunar gods, well, the masculine lunar god, like the masculine steps up. The masculine takes accountability. The masculine is, there's also makes order out of chaos. Okay, very interesting here with the High Priestess, because sometimes the subconscious kind of feels like chaos. Weird. Yeah, I'm getting the idea that categorizing the subconscious, categorizing something, control the controllables. I feel like the King of Matches is here because there's something that you're trying to control that is just out of your control. But there's things that you do need to step up and take accountability for that you're not controlling. That's why I'm like, oh man, because I just talked about like the masculinity here and the King of Matches, and then that comes out. Okay, She Who Dreams, Isra, escape, dreams, fantasy. Very interesting, and I think very, very much related to this High Priestess. I'm almost feeling like, I don't want to say duality, but managing marriage, the marriage between like the yin and the yang, the you know, this femininity of the High Priestess. Like the Empress is really the ultimate divine feminine, but the High Priestess, you know, the subconscious is related to the feminine as well, and also to dreams. Marrying dreams and reality is what I'm getting here for you, Aquarius. I feel like though you need to make space and time for this escape and dreams and fantasy, sometimes you might have to step out of whatever this control, this overbearing, over controlness of the King of Matches is. And it's more of a guide, but this is all you. This is all relating to yourself. So it's guiding yourself. And it's not a waste of time to escape in dreams and fantasy. It is, I feel like your dreams are supposed to become reality. But there's an element of trusting the universe with them and then stepping up. Yeah, it's just this, so, you know, we're coming to the end of a Libra season, but I still feel like there needs to be a balance for you between the masculine and feminine, between the order and chaos. You need to put order to chaos, but not be overbearing with it. It's more of like guiding your dreams, but not to the point where it's very much a finesse, Aquarius. Very much a finesse. So that's what I have for you. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Thank you.